This is a rant. This is a fucking rant, and it's not even 8 a.m. I was talking to some of my black friends. French. They are French. They are French black fellows. It was on Facebook. And the fact that I said that they are French is relevant. Will be relevant. It was they were also a cousin of mine who is French, and all of them are living in France. So we were talking, and we were talking about racism, and they were talking about racism against white people. Someone said, the usual, there is no racism against white people. So I said, well, I don't know, if I see a black man beating up a white man because he doesn't like white people, well, this is racism. He beat the shit up. He beat a man just because the color of his skin. And they said, no, I'm not really convinced. No, because and the usual shit, and that shit that you managed to create in the US has crossed the fucking borders and have come to Europe in France. He said, and everybody agreed. I was dogpiled. Everybody agreed. No, because the system is oppressive against black people, because white people have a story of racism and all that shit. That means that really black people can be that there is no racism against white people. If you are Arab, if you are Asian, if you are whatever, you can be racist. Only white people can be racist, because apparently historically in the history, well, white people are the devil. White people went to war, slavery, all that shit. And even now the system, there is so much racism in the system that we are so oppressed, and the system is made by and for white people, so therefore they are just one big racist group. It's difficult because as an immigrant, I am not French. I have I am still Cameroonese, and I lived in France. Like I said, I'm going back there in 2 months, I think, 1 month, 2 months. And I said to them, so what are you doing in France? What are you doing in France, and why did you take the nationality? If the system is so oppressed, the society is so oppressing to you, if there is so much racism that gave you the right to say that you can't be a racist, why did you take the nationality? Why are you still living in France? They take the nationality because it's easier for them to live in France. And I don't blame that. Cameroon, Africa is a difficult place to live. For once, you have a shitty salary. For all you years of studying, you have a shitty salary. You will get a good salary when you have, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years that finally match your studies, your education. So just talking about the salaries, yes, a salary in the West world is really, really more important, more useful, bigger than the salary that they will have if they come live here. They take the French nationality because well, it's easier for them to travel, it's easier for them to find jobs, because as an immigrant, there were jobs that I couldn't do. I understand that. Me, I just choose to not take the French nationality because, well, it was a moral thing. I don't consider my friends to be myself to be French, and I hope that in my country, by seeing what I have managed to accomplish, they will understand that they don't have to take a Western nationality to thrive, to have a better life. Oh, I digress. But, well, those people, they take the French nationality. They still live in France because it's easier in some way than living here. So they take the salary, they take all the benefits. So they did that for their own gain, their own purpose. I don't care. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. But don't come to me and start talking and start using morality to justify how you can be racist against white people, because they are using a definition that suits them. This is not morality. Don't come to me with morality when you are using the system of a country to have a better life, and in the next breath start bashing that system. Go back to your own country if it's that case. Lose that French nationality, because that means that you can't use morality to justify being the fact that you are a bigot. There is no justification for being a bigot. There is no justification. I don't care how oppressed you are. There is no justification to be racist against white, black, Asian, whatever. Jesus, they've really pissed me off, and they are all intelligent people. They all went to education. In their lives, they are good people in their life. But they've put that shit, and because it suits them, because it makes them feel better, because it feeds their victimhood. What are they going to teach their children? What? That victimhood complex? We are so oppressed that you can be a racist? Jesus. It pissed me off so bad. So bad. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can grow up. I don't understand how they didn't learn from history. I don't understand how they don't take into consideration all those people from every races that have fighted for equality. And it's the funny part. They want equality. They want equality. They want the end of racism. But how will you manage to reach that goal if at the very start you don't stand on equal ground? If at the very start you start with the victim oppression? If at the very start you have two races, one race who is the oppressor, the other who is the oppressed, and decide to be bigots because that first group oppressed them. How are you going, even if you are oppressed, if you don't show that other group that is oppressing you that you have the moral ground, that you are here and you say, okay, I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to talk to you as an equal and not as some victim. This is how it's supposed to be. equality. If you want to start a dialogue to fight something, you need to start as equal. If you start as a victim, the other group will have leverage on you. If you start at the victim, if you start as being a victim, and you use that victimhood to oppress the oppressor, this is not. That means that the talk is already lost. I don't understand. I don't understand how people can grow up. I know there is racism. I've been the victim of it. I know the French society is really tricky about that racism. But saying that that there is no racism against white people is unfair, and it will just be the open door to, to a race war. And who is to say that Arabs are less oppressed than black people? Maybe it will be the Arabs, or we start saying that no, we can't be racist. We can't be racist against black people and white people because those two have oppressed us. Victim Olympics, Oppression Olympics. The fucking Oppression Olympics are starting. Fasten your seatbelt. It's gonna be a rough ride. This is for me. Have a nice day. Have a nice Sunday. I'm going to work. I was working on a fucking good video. I was drawing and shit. And fuck. I was happy this morning. Now I'm pissed, but I'm going to be happy again. Really, have a nice Sunday. Bye.